so Steve and I have my 2012 Expedition in the shop here, and we're getting ready to flush out the power steering fluid in it. I'm going to show you how that's done. And I got 212,000 miles on this truck. The power steering fluid's kind of getting gross. It's seen better days, and the steering's a little bit tight in the truck, not crazy, but we're going to see if this flush tries to help that out as well.
So we're going to unplug this map sensor here, a little red clip on the back, and squeeze it in.
Oh! Right?
Let's poke my finger. Oh, there it is. There's a squeeze tab underneath right here. And the squeeze tab, I slip the thing back. And I stab my damn finger. But anyway, so.
You got 9 more.
Yeah, Tony didn't feel anything. So, all right, so we got this off, and we're just going to pop the air cleaner cover off here. And I got a 5/16 take off here. We're going to sit this back together when we start the vehicle. I just want to get this off for right now. Okay, we got 3 little clips here in the front. We took off. We just pushed this back. So what we're trying to do here is we're going to get this hose off, and what we want to do is we're going to make a plug with another rubber hose with a bolt in it and put it here, and then we're going to take this hose and we're going to stick it into a bigger hose, and we can pull this return side up, and then we can run the vehicle, and we're actually going to have it off the ground just a whisker so we can turn the wheels easy, and we're going to flush the steering rack out on it. So, you know, Tony's fluid has still got some pink to it, but it's discoloring, and it's got 212,000 miles on it. So we want to get everything flushed on the rack. The rack's not leaking. We don't want to have to put a rack in it, but we're assuming that the rack is getting a little tight because of the oldness, and we're going to change this fluid, which should help it. So we're going to get this clamp off right here. We'll slide it back. We'll get a plug, a little rubber hose with a bolt made up so that we can stick it on here so the fluid won't leak out of the reservoir. And then we're gonna, when we start the car, we'll have a bigger hose slid over this hose, and we'll put it into a bucket. Once the fluid comes out clean, as Tony's turning the wheels left and right, we can stop at that point. So we're probably gonna use, we're assuming, a couple quarts of fluid. This is gonna go quick. Once we get this going, he's gonna start it, he's gonna turn the wheels left and right, and we're going to keep pouring fluid into it until the fluid comes clean out of this hose, and then that'll be it. He'll shut the car off, we'll reconnect our hose back on here, and the system is flushed. Just trying to get this clamp down a little lower. Okay, so we put a little clamp on it just for now, so it's not going to leak. When we slip this hose off here, we're going to slide this one on top. Okay, now there's no pressure on that, so I don't really have to worry about that. So now I can pull this hose up here, and all we're going to do is take this hose, slide it into it, like so, and we're going to put this in a bucket.
What size is that hose you got?
I got a, I think it's 5/8.
5/8,
inside
okay.
diameter.
Inside, okay.
Yeah. We're going to take a good look at what this fluid looks like while we're dumping it, so we can put a pan up on the top here, remove some stuff. So I don't want to trip a light on this thing, so what we can do is, because this is all up out of the way, we're just going to set the new air filter, Tony.
Yeah, I know. I was watching that, looking at that.
So well, let's get we're just going to put the ductwork back on and plug the sensor back in, and then we'll run this, and only take us a minute.
All right, so I'm going to go in the truck and start it up, and Steve is going to empty it the fluid into that bucket, the oil pan he has right there, and then he's going to add fluid to it as it's coming out into the oil pan, right, Steve?
Yeah, Tony's going to turn the wheel, so when you get in, I got to put the lift up a little bit. All right, let's go. Turn the wheels. coming out clear now. All right, you can shut it off.
All right, so I'm at the other end of the hose now, and it was clear coming out of this side, out of the line, right, Steve?
Yeah, so we're gonna just flush one more quart through it just to make sure, and then we're gonna top it off with fluid.
So to do this, you almost need two people. One guy to steer the steering wheel backwards, to the left, to the right, and you saw Steve dumping down the power steering fluid into the funnel to flush it out of there.
Yep.
All right, so now what do you want to do?
We're just gonna do it one more time to make sure everything's coming out really clear.
Okay.
We got one more quart of fluid that you bought for power steering, and then we'll top it off.
Okay.
You can use either, ATF Dextron or, power steering fluid. Usually the training fluid is a little less expensive.
I bought the stuff at Walmart, the Super Tech stuff, because you're flushing it through, so you don't want expensive stuff.
Right.
Yeah.
And, the foam is starting to evaporate here, right? So you can look at the color of his fluid in here right now.
Yeah, it was.
And it's kind of on the brownish side.
Yeah.
It should either be clear or it should be pink.
Yeah.
With 200,000 miles, are you really going to get clear again at this point?
Probably not.
If you use 15 quarts of fluid, you probably would, but we don't need to do that. We're just trying to get the older fluid out, some new, fresh fluid in there. So we're just going to go one more quart of the power steering fluid. When that runs out, we'll just top it off.
This is the old fluid we're dumping out that just came out of there.
And it's got a little bit of silver in it. That means there's a little bit of aluminum.
Yeah.
From the steering rack, you can see a little bit of silver. So we got that all out of there.
See the wall right there.
Yeah.
And that's the shit that chews up your power steering rack, guys.
Yeah, I mean, it's gonna wear. It's got 200,000. It's gonna wear. So, but if we can extend the life of this thing, 200 grand out is pretty damn good. So,
Yeah.
especially in New England. So, all right. So now we're gonna reattach everything and check our fluid level.
All right, so we're gonna undo all this and put everything back together.
Get my hose drained out so I don't make a mess.
We'll make a mess. Here's Steve's hose. What the hell is that?
It sticks to your box. I got it from Cornwall. It's pretty cool, and you drain your funnels into it.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, it's pretty nice.
Huh. Looks like a rain catcher.
Catches fluid.
Catches fluid. There you go. Huh, that's kind of cool. So when you put your funnels in there?
Yeah, whatever extra fluid I have goes in there, and then it's magnetic. Then you take it off and you just drain it into a bucket.
Yeah, it's kind of slick.
This is magnetic right here. It's kind of neat. So,
all right.
okay, so we have our rubber hose on here, and we took our air cleaner out again, and so we're just gonna pop this off and fill this. Now this reservoir still stayed full with clean fluid, so we're just gonna try and make a quick move here.
Yeah, that rib thing's a pain though.
I'm gonna pry that off again.
All right, look at the other side here.
Well, it went on easy.
Yeah, it's to getting it off is it's ribbed, so it only goes on one way easily.
Right at the edge.
It's ribbed with Steve's pleasure.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. All right, it's making a move here. Come on, baby. Okay. All right, now we're just gonna squeeze our clamp and put that on. All right, so we can take these off, and we got our pliers to squeeze onto this, and we didn't lose enough fluid. We're still at the max here.
Yep.
And we'll start it up, and as the level, it's probably gonna drop just a whisker. We'll make sure our level is at the full mark, and I'll just put this clamp back on right now, and we'll be done making a mess.
That thing's slipperier than two chicks in a mud pit.
Yeah, it is.
There you go.
Okay, and try to put the clamp back into the same spot that it was in. Right there. Okay. All right, so we're gonna dry everything down here, and we will start it up and, make sure we don't have a leak at our clamp right here. We shouldn't. I'm gonna dry it all off and clean it all up. We'll get our air cleaner filter back in here, and we'll just start it up, make sure there's no leak, and double check our fluid level.
Yeah, the air filter's handed. We'll fix that in the spring along with the spark plugs.
Ductwork just pops in the back here. And I can lift this up a little bit, slide it down. Okay, that's all wedged on. Slip our sensor connector back on, and the red connector, you lock it back in place on the bottom here. So that's all set. And we're just gonna snug this. We get these 3 clasps here for the air filter. 1, 2, 3, okay. And let me tighten this clamp. Just gotta snug it. All right, so I'm gonna have Tony start it, turn the wheels again, and then we'll double check the fluid, and we should be good.
And
No, it is down, Jesus.
yeah, we're
It
down a
is
little
down.
bit.
It's down all the way to the bottom of the reservoir.
Is it really?
Yeah, so
Alright, so we're gonna top this off. I started the truck up, turned the wheel back and forth, left, right a couple times, and sucked all that fluid up. So we're gonna refill and do it again, right, Steve?
we just got to refill now. We've already got our flushing
Yeah.
process all down. As I'm filling this, you should see that line starting to come up on the side here. Yeah, so we should be full.
Yeah, it looks like it's right at the.
Yeah, so if I get the fluid is, yeah, it's it. That's the, oh yeah, there's the line right there. You
Okay.
can see it. See it? So we're perfect right
Yep.
now at max.
You can see it now.
Perfect.
Okay.
So, and the fluid is nice and clean.
Yeah, it's
Sticking our finger in it.
There you go.
It's dripping clean, nice and clear. So we've accomplished our goal today.
So I picked up 4 quarts of the power steering fluid. Just got it from Walmart, and that seemed to have been enough, right?
Yeah, that was enough.
Yeah.
4 quarts.
I almost thought I got too much, but I'm glad I got 4 because it was perfect.
Yeah.
All right, that's all you need to do, guys. If you guys have a question, drop a comment, and I'll reply back to you. One of the subs will. So I want to kind of add to this video. I took my truck for a test ride after we flushed the power steering out of it. It was really notchy, really noisy. The reservoir was completely full. So brought it back into the driveway here, and what I had to do is I took the power steering cap back off to let it breathe. I got back in the truck and started the truck up. Then you're going to want to turn the steering wheel to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right. And what you're doing is you're working the air out of the system. So there might be trapped air in the power steering rack. And by doing this, you're going to work it out of the system. I did this probably like about 10 times to the left, 10 times to the right. And I got back out of the truck. It was still noisy. Looked at the reservoir and it was empty. So I had to add more power steering fluid into it. Worked it back left, right, and then it started to quiet down. Just took to a test drive with my Expedition, and it was whisper quiet. The power steering's nice in it now. Turns real easy, and I just wanted to give you guys a heads up in case you run up against this.